Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Junior Doctors, where concepts made crystal clear. Hope you have watched the anatomy of respiratory system in detail in previous two videos and your anatomical concepts are clear. Now we are going to focus on physiology of respiratory system and we are going to start with the functions of respiratory system. So let's focus on the functions. Broadly speaking, the respiratory system functions are divided into two parts: respiratory functions as well as non-respiratory functions. Now, what is respiratory function? We all know that the main function of respiratory system is exchange of gases, that is, to provide oxygen to the blood and removal of carbon dioxide from the blood. So these functions we know from many decades. Now let us focus on the non-respiratory functions of respiratory system. Non-respiratory functions are divided into three parts according to their location. Number one is respiratory passage, number two is pulmonary circulation, and number three is others. Number one, respiratory passage. The first function which comes under respiratory passage is the humidification. Now, what is the meaning of humidification? Humidification is the process in which the temperature of air which is outside the body is taken to the temperature of internal body before the air reaches the alveoli. This covers the function of humidification. Next comes immunoglobulin A, that is IgA. We all know that IgA works as a defense mechanism. They are the immunoglobulins of our body and they will fight against the microorganism. Third comes the foreign bodies. Now we know that these foreign bodies are different in size and their functions. According to their size, they will be trapped at different locations, starting with the nasal hair. Here, the particles or the microorganisms which are greater than 10 micrometer in size will be trapped by the nasal hairs. Next comes the mucous membrane. Here, the particles or the microorganisms which are less than 10 micrometer in size will be trapped here. Third one is the reflux mechanism. Here the microorganisms or particles which ranges from 2 micrometer to 10 micrometer in size will be moved out forcefully by sneeze reflux. And we will discuss these refluxes in our upcoming videos. Last one is the alveolar macrophages. They will engulf the microorganism or microparticles and they will destroy it. And hence, in this way, these foreign particles will be moved out of the body and our body is protected by the non-respiratory function of respiratory system. Now let's focus on the second major portion, that is pulmonary circulation. The first function under this heading is reservoir of left ventricle. Now there are certain conditions wherein the left ventricular flow will be more, but the venous return to the heart is very less. In such conditions, this reserve will help to pump the heart and to provide the oxygenated blood to the whole body up to certain strokes. Next comes the function of filtration. Here certain types of cells will be filtered out, such as fibrin clots, carcinogenic cells and other such cells which are foreign bodies to our body. Next comes the function to keep the alveoli open. Now, as we all know that hydrostatic pressure inside the capillary which is surrounding the alveoli is less. So, the fluid which is present in the alveoli will be transferred to the capillaries, and in this manner these alveoli will be kept open. Last function under the pulmonary circulation is the absorption of drugs, and we have all seen this, that the people who are suffering from bronchitis or who are suffering from asthma, they are taking pumps. In these pumps there is the medicine called bronchodilators. They are directly absorbed by the pulmonary circulation. Last function is the others. In this we are going to see three functions. The first function is the synthesis. Here there occurs the synthesis of certain things such as prostaglandins, which are the inflammatory markers. Next come the removal. Here the removal of bradykinin and serotonin takes place. And the third function is the activation function. Here angiotensin 1 will be converted into angiotensin 2 with the help of angiotensin converting enzyme. So this whole video covers the non-respiratory functions of the respiratory system. Thank you for watching. Hope you understood it and enjoy learning. Let's meet in our next video with certain more important topics. Thank you and bye-bye.